So you guys are bang on, right? So La Dueña is a collaboration cigar.
What my wife says, by the way, just want to throw it out there.
You're bang on.
That's right.
Dead nuts accurate.
Who knows accurate?
Cheese and crackers. Hello and welcome
To whiskey.
Tobacco.
Fellowship.
We are here today joined by the illustrious, the infamous, and the slightly disturbing Eric Parkinson.
Glad to be back.
What's up, Potato Chip?
Glad to have you back.
Yeah. So today, this is a special episode. This was not planned in the books, and yet it happened. Do you know why?
There's books.
Tell me why.
Tell me why. Because of this guy right here.
Please don't ever sing Backstreet Boys again.
He's slightly obsessed with us, so he has to come and
Yeah.
make his way known.
It's mutual. Today's episode is going to be a wine episode.
Don't whine about it now.
You took it right out of my mouth. Mr. Eric is going to be going through a little bit of a... Look at him, he's losing it. He's going to be going through a good, better, and best wine. As you can tell, we have 3 bottles up here. And then today's smoke is going to be pretty spectacular. The Li Bijou.
Li Bijou.
That's what I said.
Like you dip your meat.
I literally spelled it anti-Semitically on the sheet.
We're drinking French wine.
Yeah.
Li Bijou is French for the jewel.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Ooh.
I don't speak French.
Fancy.
obviously.
And then
What a snob.
what we'll be discussing today is basically our thoughts
Bonjour.
on the past 4 wonderful sticks that my father has provided for us. And that's about
Yeah,
it.
man.
So let's start with the first wine, and so I don't spit on you.
I appreciate that. So I brought 3 bottles thinking we'd do a good, better, and best.
Right.
Full disclosure, I like wine to pair with my cigars,
Yeah.
but it is a rabbit hole that you can get lost in.
Yeah.
So what we're starting with right now is an Argentinian Malbec.
Yeah.
Something that you can find, well, not necessarily the vineyard maybe,
Yeah.
but you can find it in grocery stores
Yeah.
around here. Pretty approachable. This one is aged in French oak
Oh.
barrels.
I do like things that are aged in French oak.
And
Whiskey.
while this is an Argentinian Malbec,
Yeah.
the grapes obviously started in France. And these grapes are 100 years old? Over
France. We come from France.
Okay, that was a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Name that movie.
That was a little bit more German than it was French.
Well,
Name that movie line.
I mean, it does make sense though.
Right.
I started with a Malbec. Back in the day, I didn't know anything about wine, and Balian, or Daniel, the other guy who's been on this podcast, he's actually introduced me to wine, and he goes, "Let's start you safe with a Malbec," and I have loved him ever since.
And again, little to me, so it's a little red fruit. It's very spicy, but not
Spicy, you say?
but not overpowering.
Spicy.
And I think it pairs well with Nicaraguan cigars.
I think it's very light on the palate than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I like it though. It has a good flavor.
Yeah. Well, while we're lighting up, tell us a little bit about what we're smoking today.
Le Bijou, 1922 box press torpedo. Cigar Aficionado's 2015 Cigar of the Year.
Okay.
Oscuro wrapper, our Nicaraguan tobacco's binder and filler. Full-bodied, rich, smooth, yummy, if I can say that.
Where would it rank on your tier list of the My Father cigars?
As far as
All the ones you've had from the place you work, where would it fall on the list for you? As like is this
Like a daily
once in a
smoke,
lifetime
maybe? Yeah.
smoke, or is this a casual like I can smoke those in every day, special occasion, whatever.
So I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I could smoke these every day. I like fuller bodied cigars. And I think, to me, Li Bijou, in every size, hits all cylinders for me with a full-bodied cigar.
Sorry. You should know how to say this.
I have practiced it 100 times and I still mess it up.
It's like nigger walking.
Are you
for me.
feeling
I can
awkward?
say it, so it's okay.
No, I'm not.
So the original thing you said, what did you call it? Obscuro?
Obscure.
Obscure.
Why did I do this again?
Because you like hanging out with us.
100%.
So you said spicy on this, and being a novice to wine, can you flesh that out more when you're talking about wine? What do you mean by that?
It's hard to flesh it out when it's the blood of Christ.
Oh my gosh.
I almost spit up the wine.
Oh, wow.
This is only the first bottle, too.
I know.
This is going to be a great episode.
Makes sense to have wine in My Father brand. I think it pairs very well.
So this is the bread, and this is the blood. And
I'm always
we are
upset
giving-
because I never have enough body of Christ. I always have, they have more blood than they do of body. So they give me a little wafer this big.
What do you want, lunch?
I do. I want to feast on the Lord.
This is not
Lord,
getting
I
cut out.
apologize.
This is not getting cut out. Although he may go, you guys can't hear that. No.
I have no power here.
So you said this is about a $14, $15 bottle?
Yeah.
And could I pick this up at my local Publix?
This vineyard, no. But you can pick up 100% Malbecs at Publix.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Layer
Okay.
Cake is a great vineyard.
Oh, I've had that one.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I don't think Apocalypto are Malbecs. I don't know, to be honest with you. Or Apocalyptic wine. But they're a really good one if you're looking for a good budget one. That's a nice one,
Yeah.
too.
Again, wine doesn't have to be overly expensive to be great.
Right.
That makes sense because I mean I enjoy this. It's easy drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I typically don't like red wine or of any kind. I usually like whites or rosés even. I just haven't gotten enough into the world to know what
Sure.
to buy. So I'm like, I just know what I've already had before. So I stick to the whites and the rosés.
If it cleanses him of his sins, he doesn't.
Now,
have to
if I go
drink
to
it.
a nicer restaurant, I'll order red wine off the recommendations of a waiter of some sort because I feel like they know. So I'm more inclined to do that. But still, to this day, I have no baseline knowledge
Yeah.
of red wine. So I don't even know what I would eat this with.
So I think chicken. I think pork, if you're so inclined. Obviously, I think it's going to stand up to red meat. To me, and maybe I'm just, it's just my palate. But since this is a single grape wine as 100% Malbec,
Yeah.
and you said it's a little thinner than you were expecting. To me, this is a good summer red wine. Right?
Okay.
Like it's not crazy heavy. It's not work
It's
to
more
drink.
refreshing. It's
Yeah.
like it's not like you have
Yeah.
to chew it or anything like
Yeah.
that. That's a good.
During the summer, I typically will buy a Malbec and some steaks, and
Okay.
smoke a cigar out back.
That makes
That's
sense.
the typical
That makes
process.
sense.
Yeah.
Because you probably wouldn't want to have a really heavy wine and a heavy
Yeah.
dinner of any kind.
Well, it's great because you can even take the Malbec and literally, like, you're cooking the steak on the grill, and you can just put some on it right on top of it.
Interesting.
There you go.
So the Melbeck, you said the grapes? Is that what that is? Okay. And is that from a certain region or just a type of grape?
So, again, I'm not a wine
Sommelier?
sommelier or snob even. I believe. It's a grape and a region.
Yeah. Yes, and.
Yeah.
It's crazy that this vineyard, vines on it was like, what, 100 years?
Yeah.
110, something like that? Yeah, 102-year-old vines. That's
I like the fact that we went somewhere outside of France too, Argentina. That's pretty cool. I don't typically ever drink anything outside
I don't
of
think
either.
they had. It must be weird for me to say. Didn't think they had wine.
How's that
I
even
don't think of Argentina and
You-
wine.
yeah. You don't think it's Argentina as a wine,
But
it's-
again, right, like Connecticut,
I know. It's
Right?
true. It's true.
For
It's true.
tobacco,
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I 100% agree.
So, going a little bit on the tobacco side, back to that. What's the history of the Li Bijou?
you're getting better.
I am. I just do full send when I pronounce it instead of stuttering, and it makes it better.
That's fine. So Le Bijou was an homage that Pepin decided to blend in honor of his father. 1922 was his birth year.
Yep.
And our original My Father blend that came out the year before this was Jaime's homage to Pepin.
Right.
So, no, this is
This is the My Father cigar.
yeah,
Huh.
yeah. And as we all know, Pepin is my father.
Oh, I thought that said something else. I'm not
You
gonna lie.
wish.
I thought it was a D instead of a P in the beginning.
Just so you know, for the people listening and watching, he's wearing a shirt that says "Don Pepin is my father."
No, it just says Pepin.
No, yeah. Thank you.
Pepin is my father.
It says "Pepin is my father."
I thought I said, never mind.
And
Sorry.
this is the level of sophistication
Yeah, there is.
Let
we
me
have
have
been
this
hoping
one.
for,
Yeah, this one.
and I'm going to speak louder
sounds really
just to go over them as you're hearing it. This is what I was looking for, Josh. This is it. This is the whole gambit.
If you have 4 guys and 3 bottles of wine and 4 sticks of cigars, you're going to get a mess.
Sounds
It
like
is
a
gonna
bad
be.
night in college.
All right.
100%.
All right. Well, beautiful design. It's a typical My Father stick design as far as the band, I should say. And then it's got a nice secondary banner that says Le Bijou on it, 1922. Very well wrapped. And it goes without saying, because I'm a big band snob.
Yeah.
The one thing that My Father does, they do a lot of things correct, but the one thing that they actually do really well is they don't overglue their
Ain't
wrappers.
nothing
They come
worse
right
than
on.
trying
I
to
don't
take
have
the
that
wrapper
problem.
off and it just sticks.
Yeah.
Especially if you don't have fingernails, it makes it even worse. But
Yeah. We were smoking one
you
earlier.
can't undo it, and then you have to try to slide it, and it won't slide
Yeah.
because it's so tight.
Yeah, Josh and I were smoking one earlier today, and you had to it unrolled and wrapped all the way around just to get the dang thing off.
Worst experience.
That is never a good time.
Yeah. Or when it snaps the wrapper.
Or the glue's gotten onto the cigar itself
Yeah.
and starts pulling back the wrapper on the
Yeah.
cigar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to pull away from the wine, and I keep getting tobacco. I'm like, is that the cigar? No, I think the tobacco's in. I'm getting tobacco notes in the wine.
Look, I would agree with that. I think you
It's
can
almost got some of that
absolutely
dryness that's in the cigar.
Yeah.
You're definitely picking up in the
Yeah,
wine.
I think you can get tobacco notes out of wine, 100%.
Right. And I think Malbec's good for that because it's such an approachable wine.
Yeah.
It goes well with anything.
Good, yeah, I can definitely crush a bottle of that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We almost have.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Yeah.
We'll get some more.
I like your pouring technique.
Where'd you learn that from?
Some snob that works at My Father. Barrick, is it? No. Tarek? No, whatever. Doesn't matter. Not important. Dick. Dick, there it is. Yeah.
William. Yes, William.
Richard.
Richard.
Shard. But for me, as being a person that doesn't typically like red wine, this is something that I can drink and enjoy, and my wife could as well because she's on the same kind of palate as me.
Yeah.
You just haven't found that red wine that we're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is what I have to have all the time. Like, only one close to is a muscadine wine I've had.
Yeah.
From up in Tennessee, it was fantastic, but that's on the sweeter side.
Well, that's the reason I
Very
was telling
sweet.
you about that apocalyptic wine. Like, that's one that a former family member of mine recommended to me. And the first time I bought it and tried it out, that's one I literally will drink the whole bottle of as soon as I open it. Like, it's just really good.
Look,
so I recommend it.
Yeah. Sorry. That was loud.
I know, I didn't mean to.
Yeah, we were first-time smokers at some point, too.
I don't want to
Super
hear it.
confusing lighter is what it is.
I'm
really
happy
excited.
to air out the cigar a little bit.
And the good thing is you know what none of this tastes like, though?
Again with the,
Yeah, the great thing, Eric, that My Father made sure not to incorporate in this cigar,
no, thank you.
it doesn't taste anything like pitted prunes.
Good to know.
The old pretty prunes.
That's right. He'll know it when he watches.
I'm excited for the next 2 bottles. Yeah.
If this is the quote unquote just good,
Yeah, I know. This is the baseline he suggested.
trouble. I'm in trouble.
Yeah. So we're going to get smashed, and you will find out more about that after this, and we will do another bottle, and we will continue, get on to the subject of what we were going to talk about, our wrap-up. You excited to hear our thoughts on that?
I am,
Okay.
especially him.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be really good.
Yeah.
He may take his shirt off.
Hi. We can only hope.
Don't tempt me.
Oh, Lord. And welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that break where we got to either sit in silence or hear an advertisement of some kind that we either do or don't promote. And maybe it's a supplement, maybe it's a car commercial, whatever the case may be. I don't know. We were in the netherworld at that time. So, welcome back. Moving on, Mr. Eric.
Yeah. So
We have a new bottle to try.
Yes.
With the Li Bijou.
Le Bijou.
Li Bijou.
Look at me. Look at me. Zoom in right now. Le Bijou.
Li Bijou.
Le Bijou. Yes.
Le
So
Bijou.
we're drinking a 2019 Chateau Marjus. It is a French Bordeaux. This is a brand new bottle. To me, this was recommended by the gentleman at my wine store.
A French Bordeaux, you say? Oh.
Yes. So we've moved from Argentina
Yeah.
over to France.
Over to France. I love France.
Oui, oui.
You should have gone to the bathroom before. So Bordeaux, Atlantic side of France.
Okay.
Good way to put it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah. Like I got it immediately. Well done.
Look at you, cartographer.
I know. It's a map by numbers. Don't give me that much credit.
Fair enough. So Bordeaux. This is I think a 3 or 4 grape blend.
Okay. It looks like it has a blend of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet
Franc. Yeah.
and a Malbec.
It's got a much richer red
Yeah.
to it, like the
Oh,
the cherry, so to
It
speak.
looks-
The-
No,
It looks
cherry.
dark.
I can absolutely see.
Yeah.
Almost jammy.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, right?
It looks more like blood than the last one.
Thank you, Jesus.
De
Blah,
Domine
blah, blah,
Patris,
blah, blah.
Spiritus Sancto.
It's definitely more of a.
So it's drier.
It's definitely drier, but
Yeah.
it's definitely more of a harsh, dark, like grape. Really,
Yeah.
honestly, like a grape jam,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
interesting.
It is. That's really interesting. I didn't know what to expect out of it, and you're not wrong when you said there's good, then there's better. Like it fits that. Yep,
Yeah.
definitely
Almost
better.
has, it has like almost like a bite at the end too.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect your palate.
Yeah.
I almost wouldn't even say better. I would say it's different too, because like you said, it's on a preference sense. You know, if you want
100% preference, right? Like, I mean, I could drink that Malbec every day and be totally happy,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And again, so like price difference, the Malbec was around 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is under 20.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it again doesn't have to be expensive to
Do
be
they-
enjoyable.
Do they typically take the price off the age of the wine, or is it more just the rarity?
You know, that's a great question.
You don't know.
No, I don't.
Back to you.
Yeah.
Don't worry. In the future, we'll be doing an in-depth wine episode. Hopefully, Mr. Eric will be able to attend that one. I got
If
a
I'm
buddy.
allowed.
Yeah, if he's allowed. Yeah. We may have to put a separator. Yeah. Anyway.
Do
I
what
would
you
love to
must.
know. I would love to see Daniel and them, just nerd out.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I think that'd be a great episode
Oh, yeah.
for all the viewers and listeners out there.
That's right. So, we've got a great wine now. We went through all 4 of those sticks
Yeah.
that
I'd-
you
I'd lo-
graciously provided for us.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And love is a strong term.
Yeah, love is a strong
Especially
term.
Well,
So and this is my opinion. It kind of had the feeling of it started out really high and then kind of dipped a little, up a little, and then dipped a little bit further.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we were all in agreement that the La Dueña was a little. It wasn't as flavorful as the other three.
it's just lacking.
It felt a little lacking.
Okay.
Boldness.
It was good. I would smoke it, but it wasn't as bold as the other three.
Yeah.
And that's honestly by design. So you guys
Right.
are bang on, right? So La Dueña is a collaboration cigar.
What my wife says, by the way, just want to throw it out there.
You're bang on.
That's right.
Dead nuts accurate.
Who knows that?
Cheese and crackers.
So La Dueña was a collaboration
Right.
between My Father and Tatuaje.
Okay.
And it was blended for Johnny Garcia, Pepin's daughter, who happens to be Pete Johnson of Tatuaje's wife. And it is an interesting cigar for us because it is all one varietal. It is all
Yeah.
broadleaf Maduro. Wrapper, both binders and all the fillers are a combination of Connecticut and Nicaraguan broadleaf. So, and it's blended for Johnny's palate, right? Like, so she wanted a cigar that she could smoke at events with her name on it that wasn't overpowering, because while she can smoke full-bodied cigars and will smoke anybody under the table, she wanted something that was approachable.
Yeah. And we commented on that aspect of it because once we kind of like realized that's what it was meant for, okay, this cigar makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah, it's meant to be one note, but just do that one note really, really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a lower price range than some of the other cigars, and I think it definitely did accomplish that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good affordable rate. I mean, price point for sure. I think it was just when it came across, it was just. It did have some compelling of flavor. Of course, you went down the second, third, you know.
Yeah.
But it was, you know, I would say. I mean, it's hard to say. None of them were bad. By no
No,
means.
they weren't.
And again, what you guys smoke too, right? The Dom Pepin 20th anniversary,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Pepin
Right,
we got-
vintage,
It's on a
the
different
ERA.
scale. It's a different style together.
Excuse me.
It's like the bottom tier of a higher shelf tier of cigars.
Yeah.
Like,
So when we had the Dom Pepin vintage and then the ERH, those two were hard to be like, which one's better? Because they were both fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you.
The only thing that was the fantastic one was the first one you smoked with us, which that one was the best out of all of them, but it also had the highest price point too.
And limited production. So.
Exactly.
see,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Si, senor.
but this is fantastic though.
Yeah.
I really like the RH. I think it was really well done.
Yeah. It seemed to, because I like Nicaraguan Puros, don't get me wrong, but that ERH,
That Sumatran Oscuro wrapper is
It's
something
just so
else.
good.
it
isn't
really
Yeah.
is.
good,
Yeah.
it really does take you to
Yeah.
a new level.
Yeah. Super
And that's
excited
why,
about that. Yeah.
That's
When
definitely
we
the
first
dark
got-
horse.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we first got the boxes in, and I was looking at like Dom Pepin stuff that comes in is usually like a rarity that comes in, and he goes, "Oh no, that's going to be a regular in your store," and I'm like, "Okay, all right,
Really?
this is about to change. Something's changing here. This is great."
Well, I think we hit it out of the park. For me, I think it's a beautiful blend. It's interesting. It's intriguing. It's unlike any other Don Pepin Garcia line that we do. And I think even though it shares a varietal with My Father Judge,
Yeah.
it's so different from the Judge that it sort of sets it apart and makes it its own unique animal.
Yeah. A Judge is a classic favorite among everybody that I talk to who likes My Father. The only issue is getting them. It's been an issue recently, and I've literally been looking at them going, well, you've smoked some of the other My Fathers, right? Try some of these newer Don Pepin ones that are now out on a regular basis, and they seem to be gravitating towards it.
And look, we were blessed at the end of last year to receive Cigar Aficionado's Cigar of the Year with My Father the Judge.
Yeah.
Such a good cigar.
Thank you.
The verdict is Cigar of the Year.
I keep going back to that Judge all the time. Every time I'm at a new cigar lounge in a different state anywhere, I gravitate to the My Father cigars, here of late especially. So it's probably since we've been on this for a whole month. We've been smoking nothing but My Father, so it's like fresh in my brain. And then I see the judge, it's like, I know for sure I'm going to have a fucking fantastic time. So I go gravitate to that judge and
Thank
pick it
you.
up every time.
I mean, honestly, between all of us, how many different My Father cigars we smoked probably in the last month is unbelievable.
Pretty much the whole lineup, probably.
We had
Like the
you said,
Lanceros or
yeah, we tried the Lanceros.
amazing.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you.
We went a couple places. Oh,
And-
by the way, by your recommendation, I appreciate the cigar lounge recommendation.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, my pleasure.
Yeah.
Glad they treated you right and you guys had a good time.
So,
Yes.
Speaking of the wrap up, the previous episode we talked about. You asked what was new coming out at the trade show
Right.
this year, and I couldn't talk about it.
Yeah, someone was being intentionally fucking vague every time I asked a question.
so are you telling us? Are you hinting right now that you can talk about this?
I can.
Oh snap! So, if you're tuning in, you're getting some inside baseball.
Breaking news across the street.
Breaking news.
So, first Honduran blend to come out of our factory in Donley, El Paraíso. It's called the My Father Blue.
My Father Blue.
So it is a broadleaf rosado wrapper,
Okay.
and
All right.
it is a blend with the fillers and binders of Criollo and Corojo tobacco grown in Honduras at our farms.
Oh snap!
So
So this is the first of its kind.
Yes.
For My Father.
Yep.
The first of its kind.
yeah, so My Father Blue. So
My Father Blue.
Why blue?
Is the wrapper going to be blue?
the band is going to be blue. The wrapper is actually going to be tobacco colored.
Ah, you burn.
Smart ass.
So why blue? Why?
So in honor of the Honduran flag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we will be introducing it at the the PCA, our trade show, next month in April, and it should be shipping sometime in May or June.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Where's this trade show, by the way?
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Is there still tickets available? Do you know?
Well, since it is for retailers only.
Retailers only.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
Yeah, unless you're media.
Unless you're media.
I mean, technically,
That's a tightrope.
that's a tightrope. I do know some people. Maybe some people right here can go. Hey, I highly recommend you bring this person with you to that show. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see what legs I can pull.
Wait. As long as it's not fingers.
Oh my.
Oh my! You gonna smoke that band there, brother?
Not yet.
I remember my first time.
I have, look, the paper's not even brown, so
It is brown. See, you got red, got white on there, got a little bit of brown.
that's gold.
Now you're making fun of people that are colorblind?
Yes. For our listening audience,
Sensitive a-hole.
this is as weird as it sounds.
It really is.
It really
yeah,
is.
it really is.
No, you would not be surprised how many people in the cigar shop that I have to look at them and go, yeah, you gonna smoke that band? And it will literally starting to singe. And they'll look at me and go, oh, I was wondering why it was starting to taste funny. I'm like, are you okay? Okay,
You
buddy.
did as me today, by the way.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the band, though.
Would you fart?
No, it was the gold. It was the gold leaf one that had the
Oh,
gold stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah.
He's like, "You gonna smoke that band?" I was like, "It's not the band."
I'm not sure what I think about cigars with gold leaf on them, but
Yeah, me neither.
it doesn't affect the flavor.
It
So
looks pretty though.
if they want to do it, do it.
It's edible.
Yeah. So do you think with this new release of the blue, the Proud and the Blue, do you think we may potentially get to do another episode with you smoking that as soon as you are able to make that happen?
If you'll have me back, I'll be here.
Okay.
Absolutely.
We will definitely interrupt our normal scheduled everything. This moment you have it and you're in town and you want to do it, I will bump it to the front of the line.
So knowing this, have you smoked one already?
I have not.
You have not.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
man.
full disclosure, I have not smoked it.
Oh, that'd be
And I
interesting.
won't smoke it until the trade show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Be great though. It'd be a good first impression. That'd be nice to know. Yeah.
Well,
I'll tell you what, this blue cigar is giving me blue balls right now, for real.
100%.
I want it now.
I will tell you that both Jaime and Pepin,
And I need cash.
I'm trying to change the subject. So,
Yes, go ahead.
so
By
zip,
all means.
Zip it.
Why'd you look at me? I didn't say the ball, Joe.
You're an instigator.
With an M.
I say, hey, I'm holding my tongue. I didn't say anything. Continue, sir.
Thank you.
Look at
Father.
that got a little bit later on that note. Having sat out a little bit. Yeah, that was nice. Like the dryness kind of went away for a second.
Got some air to it and
Yeah.
changed the profile.
Yeah.
I'd have to say, though, I liking the llama better.
Okay, interesting. He's wrong.
I was about to say, I think he's right too.
Hey, all
I'm
personal
joking.
fucking opinion.
No, it is 100%. And look,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that Malbec.
I'm not saying it's a bad wine at all. I still would drink the hell out of it.
Again,
especially if it was
preferences,
anywhere.
right? Like
right.
some people like mild cigars, some people like full-bodied cigars, some people like infused cigars and flavored cigars. I don't think there's a wrong answer. I think what is comfortable to you and what hits your palate
Yeah.
is what you should smoke and drink.
Gotcha.
I think that's why I'm so interested with blends of any kind of spirit or cigars themselves,
Sure.
because you're basing this blend off the person that's the master blender. So whatever their taste and palate is can be completely different than you, but y'all three might enjoy the hell out of it. But I'm like, I don't see the hype. What is this?
Right, and everybody's right and nobody's
Exactly.
wrong, right?
That's
Yeah.
100%.
No.
That's why you just kind of keep experimenting with different blends until you find that one. It's like, this is my winner. This is my personal favorite.
Yeah, look, I think you should smoke and smoke often, and I think you should drink and drink often,
With
which
moderation.
probably sounds bad, but look.
They're not playing this in AA meeting, Eric. It's all right.
Okay. I didn't like beer the first time. I didn't like any alcohol the first time I tried it.
No one does, I don't think.
Yeah, so it was a series of trial and errors until I found the beers that I enjoyed, the whiskeys, the bourbons, the tequilas, the wines.
Yep.
And I, again, I think your next favorite cigar and your next favorite spirit could be the next one that you pick up.
Exactly.
So to me, I'm about a wheelhouse, right? Like I don't ever search for the one thing. I like to have choices, whether it's morning cigars, whether it's after dinner cigars or celebratory cigars, and same thing with spirits.
Oh, yeah.
I don't drink wine all the time, although it's a lot.
It's like, but you don't limit yourself to just one option. You have
Yes.
You have a
Yeah.
plethora of options.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
can choose from. It's
I've
like-
got Spanish wines at home. I've got Italian wines at home. I just picked up a white port, which I've never had before.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm super
It's a
excited to try.
contradiction.
Yeah. So
does,
yeah,
yeah.
So interesting story. And as a salesman, I fell for the story, so I bought it.
There you go.
Hey,
So-
man's a good salesman.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, they get what they're worth.
Yeah.
St. Augustine has one, by the way.
It does.
Oh, the bourbon.
Yeah, the port.
No, the port, white port too.
Oh, that's right.
St.
That's
Augustine
right.
does.
Apparently, it's a good mixing drink. So white port with like tonic or soda water and some lime. That it's supposed to be
That sounds
like
fantastic.
like a
Like a brunch type of one.
instead of gin and tonic, you do a white port and tonic.
Interesting.
So
Huh.
I'm thinking summertime.
Yeah.
100% for breakfast.
Yeah, yeah.
I like a good gin and tonic though.
I
It's
do.
made right.
Man, there's nothing better than a gin and tonic.
I know. A nice botanical, fresh flavor.
I can think of a lot of things better. But
He does like gin. I've gotten to more where
You haven't had the right gin yet, brother.
exactly. I
No,
think
no,
I
I have.
think it is. It's like I found one gin and I was like, man, this is amazing. And I didn't expect it. It was out of nowhere. I was at a bourbon distillery and we're doing taste testing for all these bourbons. And one of the end ones they had testing, I thought it was just a white dog, like a clear
Yeah.
moonshine spirit.
Yeah.
It was actually a gin they made.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice when I took a sip, so I kind of took it blind, a full blind, didn't know it was gin at all. Hit my palate, like, wow, this is fucking fantastic. This
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
enjoyable. It's like a refreshing, a little herbal, not overpowering like you're chewing on grass or anything like that, but it was just refreshing. I was like, this is what good gin is. And I think I just haven't had good gin until that moment.
Yeah.
And when that, it just opens up a whole door to where we have great, fantastic cocktails with gin. And I think that's why I gravitate when I go to a restaurant and I want something nice, refreshing, is I go for a gin cocktail to start out with. And then I might end on a old fashioned of some sort.
Got to keep hydrated.
Exactly, 100%.
Look, it's a great palate cleanser as well,
Yeah,
right?
it
It's
is.
crisp and it just takes everything away, and you're ready for what comes next.
Oh, yes.
So,
Yeah.
So, getting more into the blue that you were
Sure.
just talking about, we are, without using masculine words, we're getting giddy for the prospect of it.
so it'll be interesting. You know, we purchased land in Honduras several years ago, and where we purchased our land for our fields is not where everybody grows tobacco.
Did you have to be
Really?
kind of like hush hush when you were planning this? Like, did they have to do that?
You know, I can't speak to that because that's a family thing.
Pay off a government. You know.
Because I know what I've learned in the cigar world as far as retailers are concerned, there's a lot of political drama when it comes to purchasing places and dropping things on the floor.
Yeah.
So
Please don't go below the table.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Right here.
I'm not even going to describe what just happened, so
Yeah.
the listening audience can just use their imagination.
Garth has soft hands. Do you moisturize?
Oh,
On
my.
Tuesdays.
Okay, so
We've been drinking wine.
Anyways, let's continue what you were saying. I'm sorry. You
The
forgot.
land.
all I know is that in Nicaragua, we've had to use intermediaries to purchase land.
Yes, so there is political
Yeah,
drama.
yeah.
There
Oh, there's
absolutely,
political drama.
which
So-
makes sense because
Yeah.
I know like it's a market share kind of thing. If I know my competition is looking to buy that land and I have the money, I'm buying that land.
Sure. And again, that's not something I speak to. It's really not part of my purview as
Exactly.
as to
100%.
my job. But I know that the Garcias, Jaime and Pepin in particular, were very excited.
See, I do a good job. I was complimenting him.
It is a good.
You have to have a good swirl job. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you do have to have a good swirl job.
So switching gears, what
Yeah.
are we drinking right now?
We
We're
are.
switched to a third bottle.
We're not
the,
answering any questions at this point.
the best
Fully.
bottle. It's a Southern Rhone.
Yeah, Southern Rhone. So it's a Chateau Neuf de Pont.
Oh, you pronounce that so well.
Thank you.
Sexy.
Thank you. I've been practicing since Wednesday, unlike you with Li Bijou.
Baby John.
Oh,
That is not how I pronounce
John
that.
does not work for our company.
French.
Is that how
Jose?
you pronounce that? No way.
Yeah, Chateau Neuf de Pont. So
Ne tout pas.
Wow.
the
Pay on the band.
Wait a second. I got to spell this out
Puppy.
here. It's CHATEAUNEUF DU PAPE. That is
lost
a
at sea.
mouthful of words.
it is. So
You're used to a mouthful. It's okay.
Continue.
why at this point? No. So okay. So the Rhone Valley is on the Mediterranean side of France. So a little bit warmer climate.
Yeah.
And I think that this is delicious. So to me,
I haven't tried it
Do
yet.
you think
Oh,
it
it is
being over
delicious.
towards the Mediterranean, you pick up some more of those like sea notes, like more of the coast in the wine?
so I think this is sharper, and maybe that could be that would
Contribute to it? 'Cause
translate.
I know, like
Yeah.
with Scotch, with Isle of Scotch,
Wow.
you kind of pick up that more of the coastline. You get none of that
Yeah.
seagrass almost notes.
So,
But
Art's
again-
perspective, this is smoother than the other two, has a better, drier hint to it.
It's a softer dryer, if that
Softer,
makes sense.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
And the flavor's better. You aren't joking about labeling this as the best, because it really is.
No, it's by far.
He goes in the break, he goes, we're going to finish this bottle, I guarantee it. I'm like, yeah,
Well,
okay.
what it does is like it mixes the two we already had.
Yeah,
It just enhances it.
yeah.
You know, where the first one was a little sweeter, some was a little dry. the other
It's
one's a little more
almost like
dry,
I
this
wanted
one's
you
like
to
a-
taste the grapes.
It's
Yeah.
an awesome.
That's
wine.
weird.
You picked a really good lineup.
It just shows
Thank
more that I have bougie taste and have to spend a lot of money on wines because the more money it is, the better it is.
I mean, we know that with whiskey, so I mean,
Yeah, and again, like for me, Chateau Neuf de Pas or a Côte de Rhône is not a wine that I would drink every day simply because of the price point.
What is
right?
that?
So this retails for about $65 a bottle, which
Yeah, wow.
you know, I think it's still affordable, right? But I definitely drink it amongst friends, and I will absolutely not drink it on a Wednesday.
Gotcha.
You hear that? We're friends.
On a Wednesday? Why a Wednesday?
I was looking this way when I said friends.
that's right.
Whatever. Quick question: do you know, since you bought a lot of wine?
Yeah.
Does price kind of vary state by state, like it does with whiskey and stuff like that? Or is it kind of more across the line, $65 here in Alabama and $65 here in Tennessee? You don't know.
I'm going to sound awful for saying
You're
this.
bougie as fuck, so you don't care about the price.
Exactly.
I understand
We
that
all
completely.
understand.
Yeah. I don't know.
When you don't
Yeah.
even look at the price tag and just buy it anyway, that
Yeah.
means you have too much money.
Right.
So if you want,
Or you're a hobbyist.
yeah, hobbyist.
I would say too, it's kind of hard for wine too, because you're not buying probably the same bottle. I would say, all the time. So with whiskey, there's, we have our staples, and you can go like, okay, Jack Daniel's here costs this, and it's real easy to compare apples to apples.
Yeah.
I wonder,
But
mean
a
grapes to
difference in
grapes?
vintage, right?
yeah.
Oh my God. Like this is a 2019. Like
Right.
So each
10
year that they could change the price, couldn't they?
They could, I suppose.
Because it's getting older and people like
Yeah.
older
Yeah.
wines, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Yeah.
So
So I got an interesting question for old Smokey the Bear in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have any wine stories that would relate to what we're drinking today, since you've actually been to France?
Wine stories or what? What'd you say?
Sure. Yeah. Wine stories.
Wine stories? Oh yeah, I have a few. Would you like to hear one?
Would you guys like to hear one? You don't answer that. Eric, would you like to hear one?
yes.
Okay.
The worst.
Black sheep over here. It's okay.
The worst claustrophobia I think I've ever
Regardless,
had.
I've heard all of them.
Claustrophobia I've ever had was in France at a wine cellar underneath a friggin' dungeon, apparently, in a castle. It was we had some French wine.
Was it Queen Elizabeth's castle?
It was yes it was.
He's heard the story.
Well, he's heard where I've been.
I know there's a show, what is it, about the longest reigning queen in France. I can't think of the name of the story, I'm sorry. But it when I saw that castle there and he told me a story of when he was from France, I was like, I just watched that on the show. It was like bar one for one.
Yeah, so we had like a big old group, about 20, 30 of us, probably more like 30. And, they're all like, okay, you got to go all down there. And I'm like, looking, my wife has bad claustrophobia. I don't.
Was it one of those like dungeon kind of things where there's a hole you have to kind of climb down into?
Like,
yeah,
for instance,
paint the picture.
So paint the picture is that you go to, I'm assuming it's going to be like a nice big area. You're going to walk in, it's going to be kind of grand. It's literally like
castle.
it's exactly
Yeah.
right. Something someone else's wine cellar. You actually go down about 10 steps down to this narrow little hole, which is again, back in the day the rooftops were so much shorter too, so you had to duck to get in. Even I had to duck to get in, and then
That's real short.
Yeah, it's short.
So
Except
then
Tom Cruise.
the room itself though is concave, so it's like at the lowest points you definitely can't stand that. So
Really?
everybody is trying to congregate in towards the middle, and which of course is my wife's already like on high alert. She's like, "Give me the wine now." I was like, I need something to stimulate me now.
If they're going to kill us, this is where they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Please let me do
Not a
it.
fan of parabolas.
Please let me be drunk when you kill me, please.
The worst place probably would be during a flash flood or something. I don't know. It would be, because again, it was nice though. It was a very cool experience. We we tried a lot of wine, but it wasn't probably my favorite wine that I've had, of course, in France. But it was just a cool little experience to have it there. But that's probably my coolest wine story.
Nice.
Interesting.
That is pretty
Wine in a dungeon. That's
Yeah.
gonna
It's
be tough to top ever.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
But like I said, like they apparently they grow all those, of course, grapes there, and they all have, you know, that's their own little vineyard, and so it was good. But you know, it was all like their lower price point, you know, stuff that they were sampling out. So it wasn't nothing like Neuf de Pas.
Cool. Comparing the wine you had there, how's this compared to that?
Oh, this is night and day. This
Night
is
and day?
yeah. I would say that one it would be more closer to the Malbec that we had in the beginning.
Okay.
All like the reds were super light, just almost more refreshing on the palate, and then a bunch of different whites that I'm not a big white guy. So if I'm gonna have a wine, I'm gonna have
Take your shirt off, and you would be a real big white guy.
Oh yeah, no joke about that one. But the
You're actually the biggest white guy here.
thank you,
Continue.
Eric.
Pot. Kettle. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Pleasure, sir.
The strange part was he went to France. He came back wearing a fedora.
And eating croissants on a constant basis.
No.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, croissant.
Is croissant. Yeah.
Channel your inner
Come on.
Jean-Luc Picard, who was
Nah.
English and
Earl
played a
Grey
French
hot.
guy.
I felt kind of bad because I came back with 0 wine and bottles of whiskey. So I think I did it wrong for most people. But
You'll love this anecdote with his story. He had to go all the way to France to get an Amazon basin because we didn't have any of them anywhere, and he bought one in France.
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, I had a cool experience with some the cigar stores there. So there's a couple of really nice ones there, and I can't remember the names off my head, but I did save their card. But I happened to stumble across another one. They had a couple Amazon basins, and I was like, you told me all about it, and I was like, shoot, I gotta get a couple. So I did. So it was really cool.
And during that time, it was like they weren't coming out at all,
Not at
like
all.
around here.
Right.
And I went,
Right.
that's kind of pathetic that
It
he had
is.
to go all the way over there just to get
Yes,
one.
That's a sad state.
That's the only reason he went there.
That's the only reason.
The only reason. Well, that and dungeon wine.
That
Right.
dungeon wine.
Yeah.
Sounds like that sounds great. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
All right,
That's a T-shirt, by the way,
We've been
dungeon
smoking
wine.
on these cigars for a while. What was everybody's opinion? Pretty much halfway or over halfway through these cigars. What was your opinion?
The point I'm getting here is I'm getting a very deep and dark. Mocha's not the right word for it, but it would be like. I think of like jerky mocha. Like it's kind of a dark kind of spice to it.
I don't know why he looked at me when he said that.
Almost like a peppery jerky.
He wanted you to
Peppery
validate
jerky.
him. That's what he was.
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to do.
I don't validate.
But no validation here.
Yeah.
It,
yeah.
It's
He just congregates.
Yeah.
So the beginning was dark, and I was kind of like, okay, it's a nice dark cigar. Okay, whatever. Keep going. It'll get better. And it did get better. And as we all know, cigars tend to, in my opinion, it's compounding flavor
Sure.
as it builds up.
Sure. Every
And
third is different. Right?
Every third is different.
And the best ones build on the previous.
Right.
So, I would. I get dry cocoa powder notes,
Yeah.
but the spice component has obviously at least doubles for me.
Yeah.
And again, full-bodied cigars are going to get fuller-bodied as you smoke them. So, but it's still, to me, within balance. I can still pick up those dry cocoa powdered notes along with that
Yeah.
peppery oomph.
And that's
to
what
it.
you get with My Father. That's the one thing I accent to everybody when they ask for a cigar recommendation is the fact that there's very few brands out there. There's only about, I think, 3 that I tell you, you want a classic cigar flavor, My Father's one of those ones you would pick. And this one, even all the way down here, as dark as it is, as much as it's built up, we'll get your opinion next because you're the farthest down. That's what she said.
Or he, we don't judge.
That's right.
Oh, we judge.
Oh, we judge.
Or we judge. We judge hard.
My
I don't
Father
validate,
has
but I
that,
judge like a
has that leaf flavor.
motherfucker.
I always refer that to the leaf flavor. It's like
Yeah.
for those of us living in the South and deal with fall leaves all the time, that classic memory you have of that smell of dried
Sure.
leaves.
Sure.
and then you can translate that over. That's for people who may be listening who don't know anything about smoking cigars. That dried leaf smell from fall,
Yeah.
and then you've got tobacco. It's like taking the best of that fall feeling and putting it in something you can taste.
Well, that's almost woodsiness, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
a dry, earthy,
Yeah.
like a leaf pile when you rake up in the yard and you crust that up.
Yeah.
And you sprinkle Nesquik chocolate milk mix on top of that. You
That's
smell
incredibly
that,
specific.
That was good.
and
Yeah.
you get that chocolate note on it, but you get that almost like a deteriorating leaf. Like this was weird because when you smell a fresh leaf, it's refreshing. When something's like dried out and almost dirt-like,
Yeah.
that's what you kind of pick up towards the end of this.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
definitely
That's a compliment, by the way. That's
Yeah.
yes,
not
it's not a
That we would call that earthy.
yeah, it's definitely
Yeah.
earthy.
Yeah.
Well, he's trying to
darker
describe it
chocolate.
for
Yeah.
somebody who has no idea
Yeah.
what we're
Yes,
talking about.
you'll feel more of a dryness like you would with when you're drinking the wine. It's more like it dries your palate out, but in a good way.
And
I
that's
just
why
I love the imagery. I'm just like
Yeah.
you over here just laying on some Nesquik.
I know.
Because I get it.
Is your mental image of him in super short shorts doing that? Because that's what
No,
mine
it's
is.
jorts, okay,
Oh.
Oh, okay.
with
Josh is
two,
in
two
jeggings.
socks and New Balance shoes
Two
with a
stripe.
white beater.
Two
What?
stripe. Tube socks.
I like
Are
the
you
three
a
stripe.
you are a three stripe
you a
guy?
striper.
Different age groups here. By
Yeah.
the way.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So you're getting all
Senior
these.
citizen,
Oh my gosh.
nice
So
and young and beautiful.
well, I wouldn't go that far. What you got is what you'll find a lot with cigar smokers.
Why there's wine.
That is why there's wine. With some cigar smokers, is some of their favorite time periods, bar none, is spring and fall. And it's simply the ability to sit outside and
Yes.
smoke a cigar
Yep.
and not be freezing to death or burning up and be able to enjoy nature. And it honestly throws back to that kind of childhood fall memory with cigars as
Sure.
adults.
Weirdly enough, I think when you were born dictates what season you like the most.
I'm a fall guy.
Because
right?
I was born in October and I'm a fall winter guy, 100%.
I was born in October too.
October
2nd.
22nd.
This
Close
is
enough.
getting weird because they're both redheads, although you can't tell from Eric at this point.
That fucking hurt.
Just like your prostate.
Oh my god. And this is why y'all tune in, because this is only going to get better. Mr. Eric will be joining us for more episodes, even
After you use the
outside,
bathroom.
outside of My Father stuff, just to join us. Oh,
Will I?
Well, this wine's good.
Lord.
This wine is
fantastic.
really
Very
It's
good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And-
You were not joking. We
Yeah.
will definitely be finishing.
I'm glad we went away from like a Bordeaux wine, that region, and went somewhere else because I'm more commonly have had wines in that Bordeaux range, but like this is actually very interesting.
Yeah, Rhone is totally different, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it's great in its own way, right? To me, I'm going to say something that you guys might not get, but I get pepper and wow, you got shafted. I get pepper and tobacco with this.
100%. I see that.
Yeah,
Because I had a last draw. I'm definitely farther along than most everybody else.
Yeah.
This is more accurate to me. Anyways, I get that that chocolate note. And
he's right.
That it
How do you
for some
know?
reason,
Wednesday.
the cocoa, the chocolate comes super strong at the end of this cigar.
Yeah.
And the more I drink this wine, it definitely complements the sweetness.
Yeah.
And it like enhances the sweetness of the wine as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
To me, this is like I get, along with the pepper and the tobacco, there is some sort of red fruit that I would call it, but it's not as jammy
Right.
as that Bordeaux that we tried.
So libations or bourbon whiskey with cigars is a typical thing.
Yeah.
Do you normally do wine with a cigar on your personal time kind of thing?
Personal time is split in thirds
Okay.
with cigars. So coffee is my absolute favorite pairing.
Okay. We'll be doing an episode on that.
100%.
Wine is my second favorite pairing, and tequila is my third favorite pairing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Eric may be on a bunch of our shows, maybe not necessarily as the My Father rep, but just as a dude.
Local
Big-
old dude.
The local dude.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Lord.
I love you, buddy.
I love you too.
Oh,
man.
gosh.
But I just picture, honestly, what I picture.
Completely forgot what I was saying.
It's okay. I'm sorry.
Off the
I
rails.
ruined it.
This is the
Anyways.
title of the episode, is Off the Rails.
Yeah, because we're in the third bottle deep. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I see this wine out on the back porch, smoking a brisket or something like that. You're smoking your cigar while you do it.
Yeah.
You have this wine sitting right next to you while you're flipping your meat or whatever. And then once you pull it off, you have another wine. It's
Everybody got that.
Yeah.
you dirty, dirty sons of bitches.
Off the rails.
If you're just the listening audience and you grinned when he said that, that's exactly what we were doing.
Because they're all perverts. But anyway.
Perverts.
But yes, I see this because it complements the cigar, but once you're done with the cigar, then you have that freedom of choice that you might have paired
Yeah,
with it.
sure.
And it pairs with that too. So you
Yeah.
have a different experience with a cigar, and you move to that food you made, and it's like, man, it's a whole other experience with this wine again.
Yeah.
Because it complements each other with the pepperiness of a steak or something like that.
Sure.
Which is awesome.
So who brought the steaks?
I wish I brought a steak right now.
Well,
Man, you
Dude.
imagine having some steak
Good
cuts right
tomahawk
now.
steak, chopped up.
Oh, we had a little charcuterie board with pre-cuts
Charcuterie
steak
board?
section. Woo. I'll see you next Tuesday, buddy.
Filet of
Yeah.
meats.
I will see you next Tuesday. Best tomahawk I ever had, deep fried in peanut oil.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Not the best one I've ever had.
Noco.
Noco in Nashville, Tennessee. If anybody's up there,
Yeah, that's
go to
pretty good.
Noco. They slice it for you already, but this thing is
That's the
melting
best
your mouth.
value too.
It was like what, a 130 for a tomahawk steak?
I thought it was like 95.
No, it was a little bit over 100. A little bit. I would not be 135, but it's a little bit over 100.
I'd say now it's $95.
I doubt it. Anyway,
Post in the
I trust
comments
Rain
if you
Man.
know what it is.
I bought it, so why would you trust him?
I've been there more.
His face is more trustworthy than yours.
Why? Because he looks like Barney.
What the fuck is going
At
on?
least give me Elmo or something. Come on.
Do you rather have Elmo or Barney?
Elmo.
We appreciate everybody watching and listening.
But anyways, it's a fantastic steak. It melts in your mouth. I highly recommend, if you're a lover of steaks, go at least once to a nicer restaurant and order a expensive steak and let the chef just prepare it for you.
Yes.
Don't tell them how you like to cook or anything like that. Say chef recommendation and let them cook it for you because it's going to be the best steak.
And then get the bottle. Neuf du pas.
What? What you
Huh?
going?
Yeah, any like this French wine is phenomenal. I can't imagine what this steak would be. It'd just
Oh,
be
gosh,
unbelievable.
It's
And
like
then-
that scene from Parks and Rec with the steak and a cigar and the bottle of whiskey.
The turf and turf?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ron Swanson.
Yes.
I said all the steak and the bacon and
Ron
eggs. you had.
Swanson, the perfect man.
The man's man.
So,
Man.
as far as we got the blue coming out soon,
Yeah, man.
is there anything else you want to tell us about My Father that would be able to capstone this wonderful, wonderful 4 weeks? This being the 5th week, and thank you again
Of course.
for agreeing to do
Yes.
this.
Yes.
The
No.
whole wine, the wine recommendation for this capstone, which we didn't plan, was all Eric. He said, "Let's do wine." I was like, "Okay," and he was nice enough to bring all this. So
It's been amazing.
this has been great, man. We appreciate it.
Well, look, it's my pleasure. I'm a big fan. So, I'll be back on episodes whenever you guys want with whatever spirit you guys want.
Jägermeister? I mean, it's a general question.
If you want to pair Jägermeister with cigars, we can absolutely do it.
I'm not saying I do, but
I
we
do.
have a certain someone at the table that would
What he's
love.
doing is he's trying to find a substitute for his spot in the show. I think is what he's trying to do.
So you're saying I have a chance to knock this is Survivor,
Maybe.
and I have a chance to knock him off the island.
Knock me off that island for this Jägermeister, please. I'll sacrifice myself. You can win the 50 grand or whatever you want.
So a little context to what he's referring to is, old Devin here loves Jägermeister. I can drink it straight at any room temperature, and I love it. I can drink a whole bottle without blinking. I love it.
You need to find Jesus.
That's why,
And your
that's why he
palate.
has you here. He has this
That's coming from the
Audrey
Father.
here.
So, to go back to your original question after that detour in a cul-de-sac,
Sorry.
No, you're not.
one, you're not. Two, don't apologize. PCA this year, our trade show.
Yeah. You looking forward to it?
Look, absolutely 100%. I'm looking forward most to the blue to smoke our Honduran tobacco because of how excited Pepin and Jaime are about it. And honestly, my other capstone is the Don Pepin Series JJ 20th Anniversary Limited Edition that we're doing this year. So,
Listen, fella, if you want to get
On a
both
erection,
those
you got
cigars,
one.
if you want to get both those cigars and come back immediately after to do that, we will absolutely bump that to the top of the list of release.
We are. I'm not saying whether we're fanboys of My Father, but we are. Non-disclosure.
We were
are.
fanboys before you even
It-
agreed
it
to this
is true.
episode. I'll
It
be
is
completely
true.
honest
well,
with you.
I appreciate that. And
And you guys should be too, because I'll be honest with you. When you look at cigars, it's all preference. We understand that.
100%.
Whiskey, libations, cigars, women, it's all preference.
Well,
Well, listen, but if you want a traditional cigar smoking experience, there's very few brands out there that cater to that specifically. I'm not going to mention the other ones, but this is the one that does it, and everything they make caters to that, and I love it. I'm telling you, they're not paying us for this.
No.
We're just literally
and
saying.
there's other brands out there that are fantastic as well, and we'll deep dive in those later throughout the year.
Yeah.
It's not like we're only going to do My Father forever and ever.
We
You know,
could.
We could.
should we?
We could.
I mean,
year of
We
My Father.
honestly could.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Literally, my father would be like, hey, by the way, we're going to just start paying you for every single episode. Because we'll just smoke with my father every single episode.
But there's a reason that we started out with My Father
Right.
for our main cigar, because
And it wasn't because Eric.
it definitely wasn't.
It absolutely wasn't because of me. Yeah.
It's just because the quality of cigar and the process they take to have the uppermost level of quality is something that I can admire and seek after. Because
Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys
fantastic.
grow your own tobacco, right?
We are a vertically integrated company, yes.
Yeah.
Look, and
That's a big deal.
It's a big word.
I am, it's a series of words.
Depends on how drunk you are.
You don't need to keep swirling. Just an FYI.
Why can I not just be me?
Because
You gotta
it's
constantly bring
awful.
me down.
No, it's awful. It's
his
like
preference.
it's a lot to
It's a
take.
preference.
Just call him swirling.
Just because you're
Yeah.
getting distracted by the swirl doesn't mean I have to stop doing the
It's
swirl.
hypnotic. Just
I know-
like you.
I know my eyes are, but
No, look. In all seriousness,
yes.
Pepin and Jaime and Handy, Jaime's son, get up every day and try to do a better job than they did yesterday. So all we want is for people to try our cigars and add them into their rotation.
Yeah.
And we think that we, over the last 22 years, have built an amazing bookcase
Yeah.
of cigars for every palate.
I think My Father is one of, in my opinion, the fastest cigar company to become a classic.
Thank you. That means a lot.
It
you.
just because it's only been around like 20-something years.
Well,
Yeah, they outkick their coverage for 100%.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
That speaks a lot to the quality of the people doing it and what they want to do. What's that? It's a Japanese phrase. It's like do 1% better every day. I can't. Maybe Kaizen. I think maybe the word. Anyway, that's what you're talking about. Every day, a little bit better.
Yeah, they feel like they've been around for 100+ years.
Right. When you go and smoke this without knowing what I just said, you'd be like, yeah, these guys have had to been around for the last 80 to 100 years.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, they've been around maybe shorter than you've been alive, which is insane.
Which, with the smoking age in the United States at 21, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
That's insane to think about.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you're this young,
Yeah.
but you have this massive catalog of high quality cigars that are reasonably priced for majority of them. I mean, you got some specialties like everybody else does, but the majority of your cigars are well priced, easy, accessible by the brand new smoker or the expert level smoker that's been smoking for 50 years.
Sure.
I think that's the
Thank you.
big plus for
Yeah,
the
I'd
cigar
agree.
company.
Look, we grow tobacco.
Yeah. So tell everybody while we're wrapping up where they can discover more about My Father.
So myfathercigars.com
Okay.
is our website. We also have an Instagram, which is My Father Cigars the Garcia family. Or if you're lucky enough to run into a sales rep for My Father Cigars across the country,
I don't know anybody.
The glare.
yeah. Anyway, check us out online.
Yep.
Check us out at any retailer across the country. And again, smoke often.
Buy 2 minimum of whatever you want to try.
Yes.
So I know we're going over. I think you should buy 3.
Tell me why.
So
Tell me why.
I specifically asked at the beginning of this
And
episode.
his writer, he said no.
No.
I broke the NDA. I'm sorry.
So your first one's a gimme, right?
Yeah.
Of any new cigar. I think your second one, you're going to pay attention to. Your third one, you're going to sort of set your paradigm against what you know of cigars already.
Nice.
So,
Well said.
yeah.
That's an interesting way of looking. I've never heard of a third, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put that. We may incorporate that.
I also like odd numbers, so 3
Yeah.
is way better than 2.
100%.
But no, so again, in any new blend, as you're walking into a humidor across the country, that first one is going to be a gimme, whether it's a recommendation of the staff or a customer or an online opinion. That second one is where you're going to really pay attention, and the third is where you're going to lock in as to whether or not it fits your profile.
Are we
And-
surprised that the rep is telling you to buy more cigars?
Yeah.
You know-
Conflict of interest, but
Listen.
I bought it hook, line, and sinker.
That was a good sales pitch, but I'll tell you from personal experience. This is Devin speaking from personal experience. The podcasts I've done in the past, the media stuff I've done in the past, and I've known Eric a very long time.
I'm so confused.
I can tell you that he is speaking from real experience. It's not just because he would recommend that for any cigar brand, except flavor cigars.
No.
No.
But it's genuine. It genuinely is. The typical rule I've always seen is always buy 2, but 3
makes
is
more
for
sense.
the aficionado. Or somebody who wants to be an aficionado.
I'd say it's more for the person that's not just first starting out. I think it's more for the person that's been in it for a little while.
Oh man,
They kind of know what they already like and see if they can gravitate towards more what their palate is.
I would disagree with you. I think it's for I think it's for both, and I think it's actually more important for the person who's first starting out, right? Because again, if you're looking to jump into this lifestyle, you're probably on social media. You're probably following a couple.
You probably had some really bad friends that got you into it.
Speaking from experience, you can have some really bad
No
friends, but you might have joined some social media cigar groups and are following the trend or the herd of people. So again, that first cigar is going to be a gimme.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's your first cigar or your 7th or your 70th, if you've never tried it, you need to try 2 more to simply erase the public opinion, right, and realize that cigar smoking is a singular individual activity. Whether you do it alone or whether you do it in a cigar store, right? Like it's you, it's your palate, it's your tolerances and your preferences. So that second cigar is going to actually show you what that cigar is, versus that first one who the reason you bought it is, well, everybody's buying this, so I have to buy it.
Right. That makes sense.
That third one, again, as a new cigar smoker, is going to be, I was right to buy this again, because here's what I picked up that makes sense to me, whether you can put words on it or not, right? And
You either validate it or invalidate it with the third one.
Yeah, again, and I don't do validation, but yes.
You're a good guy, Eric. We appreciate you.
No, I don't need validation.
Well,
No, I am what I am. I don't need validation. But no, like, that's my 2 cents.
I love it.
it makes perfect sense, and I think I actually agree with you now. Yeah, it makes more sense that you explain to where they can not necessarily know their palate. It might take a little bit more cigars to finally find that fine tune what they're actually searching for.
And look, I've been smoking for 30 years. I am still refining and fine tuning my palate, right? Like I think that is that's a journey.
That's a good thing, though.
Like, yeah, I don't think it's a destination. So
Yeah. There's no end destination. It's just a
yeah,
journey.
yeah.
Enjoy
I
the
did a
journey.
solo episode about the ever-changing and evolving palate, so look for that.
Called The Climb by My Father's.
Okay.
You know what else I like reference?
Yes, of course I
Okay,
did. I
thank
got
you.
it.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you're welcome. You're same demographic.
Thank you. High five.
Well, I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Garth.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Mr. Eric, again, a pleasure. Thank you for agreeing to this 5th episode of the My Father series.
Probably regretting it, but yeah.
We didn't expect you for the 5th one.
No.
Like, we expected to be done after the 4th. This has been spectacular. You have set the bar. Like, if I get any other reps for any other ones, I'm gonna be like, you want to come back for a wrap up?
It's not as good.
Anyway,
What's up, JR?
that's right.
Shots fired.
Hey, it is what it is, and that's all that it is.
It is
We appreciate
what it
you
is.
guys being here. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Hit the comments, comment again. Juice that algo, so everything, I don't care what you say. Good or bad, it doesn't matter.
In
Yeah,
the comments,
yeah.
you can guess how old Eric is, and
Yeah, juice the algo.
we'll like whoever is the right answer or closest to the answer of his
That's right.
age.
God.
I shaved my beard after our conversation on Wednesday, by the way, just an FYI.
Makes you feel better about yourself?
Nope, not at all. I feel worse,
didn't think
actually.
so.
Yeah.
Josh, where can they find the WTF podcast?
Oh, bless it.
The WT podcast is on all of your listening needs, like Apple, like YouTube, like Rumble, and then Arc will let me know I forgot one or two.
Spotify. The
Spotify.
biggest one. But anyways.
And you can also join our Discord. It is a part of the Archifier Studios network
Joe Rogan's on Spotify.
podcast. I don't know if you can hear me
what I'm
right
going
now
with.
because they're talking.
Sorry.
But you can see the link tree down below in there.
Sorry.
He's sorry.
I'm sorry.
We're on the 3rd bottle of wine. 3rd bottle of wine.
Zip it.
Feel free to join our Discord. If you talk about libations and cigars, I can guarantee you we will hit you back pretty quick.
Yes, sir.
But we do gaming and other things on that. It's a multi-use Discord, and we would love to have you there.
All is
Please-
welcome.
All are welcome. I feel like it's a Lord of the Ring quote somewhere in there. We'll figure it out.
You have no power here.
One does not simply walk into Discord. Is invited.
That's right.
The
Not all who
Discord needs
wander
no
are
king.
lost in the Discord.
My captain.
We are super nerds, just to let you know. We got a lot of great episodes planned here in the future. Look forward to Eric coming back on the show.
Yeah, man.
And more things to come. you'll probably, hopefully, get some of the first hits in the media world for My Father. Hopefully, on a podcast because of all this. Hopefully. I can't guarantee anything, but we'll certainly try. Anyway, we appreciate you guys here on the show of
Whiskey.
Tobacco,
Fellowship.
and we'll see you guys next time. Remember, drive safely and stay out of the left lane of traffic.
Cheers.
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 Well, bye.
Bye, Felicia.